That there are solutions that have been studied in the lab now for more than 25 or 30 years that are ready for commercial, large-scale use. We have a history of 40 years of making equipment for making integrated circuits, and about 3 years ago, we began to provide the equipment to use in building up factories for large-scale solar manufacturing. As factories get larger and the scale of production gets larger, the speed of cost reduction accelerates. And what's happening today all around the world is the cost of a solar panel is coming down very rapidly and the price of electricity is going up. So our ability, what we're seeing with the equipment is the opportunity to serve many of the new growing areas in the world that need electricity that's cost effective.
We are only in the beginning. What happens is a revolution, a new technological revolution. This happens.
For the layman, it's not immediately apparent, but a revolution is going on in the industry, a revolution that's even bigger than the IT revolution in recent decades. And it's already being dubbed the ET revolution, the energy technology revolution.
This industry is maturing rapidly, and it's moving from the laboratory to commercial business. It's an industry, many of the people who have come to visit us at this conference have come from the integrated circuit business, and they say this is just like 30 years ago, with the transistor coming in to replace vacuum tubes. And suddenly a whole new market vista opened up. The panorama of all of those possibilities is being seen and tried here at over 1,000 exhibits. It's an incredibly exciting time for all of us, and it's part of growing up. And there's an excitement about growing up as well, large companies as well as small, finding a way to participate in this need that we have.
All technological revolutions have had an initiator. And we are the initiators of that. And this will lead to a development which will initiate a break of the conventional energy system in the next decade. And the business changes from an energy business to a technology business. That means the losers are the conventional power companies. The winners of this development are companies in the economic field, are the companies who produce the technologies for harvesting renewable energies and converting it and store it.
Scheer's message is clear. New industries are taking over energy production. His words seem to be confirmed by emerging economies like India. The Indians have huge plans, plenty of sun, vast energy requirements, and a strong innovative force.
The local interest in the country is basically it's a huge interest, and we see India taking off into a mega market. Probably 2009, like Vinay said, I would say more in the region of 2010, it's going to explode.
Mozart Industries is one of the world's largest manufacturers of optical media. It's investing heavily in the latest solar technology.
We're not a module manufacturer, we're a solar energy provider. So that means we want to grow the solar industry, and we have made investments in crystalline silicon, in thin film, large investments, and we have also made investments, equity investments in making polysilicon material. We have made investments in future technologies like concentrated technologies like Sol Focus, for instance, is our partner, and we've made other investments too. We are looking at it from a much wider scope. How do we become the best help for promoting solar energy as such? An entire new industry is emerging, not only in solar manufacturing. It's going to be a captive consumption of solar panels, which means our solar integration industry is going to increase. The solar energy services industry is going to increase. This whole industry is going to grow. I think it's going to become probably one of the largest growing, fastest growing industry sectors in India. And I see this spilling to our neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, all of them.
People are remembering from the last time we had an oil embargo, 1978, solar was too expensive. It was about $30 a watt for a solar panel. Today, it's well below $3 a watt. There's been a factor of more than 10 in cost reduction. Part of what's important here is to get the message out that the world has changed and so has solar. Solar is cost effective today.
Seville, Spain. There's enough sun. And as things now stand, Spain will be the first country in which electricity generated by sunshine will cost the same as electricity from fossil fuels. The Spanish are following Germany's example and are also introducing legislation that will make it possible to supply clean electricity to the grid. And electricity utility companies have also realized that the sun is their new fuel. Ebengoa is experimenting with large mirror power plants. The power plants currently under construction should provide 300 megawatts, which is enough for a town the size of Seville.
This solar plant, the PS10, is the first commercial tower plant to come into operation in the world. So there were several research and development projects in the past making use of this technology that proved that the technology was feasible. But finally, there were never a company that invested the money in order to make this technology commercial. In this case, Abengoa made the effort to finance this project and to put this plant into operation, and now it's a reality.
Mirrors measuring 120 square meters each reflect sun onto just one point on a massive tower. This results in high temperatures which are used to drive steam turbines to generate electricity.
Well, at this moment, these technologies are being developed in some countries that are supporting the revolution. In Spain, for example, we have what we call a feed-in tariff that is paid for every kilowatt hour of electricity that we generate, and that makes possible the economics of these projects. As a matter of fact, at this moment in Spain, there is coming into development the competition between different companies, and that makes costs go down very quickly, and you have to work to develop it and to put it into real operation and to demonstrate that it's feasible and that is real. And we think that it will arrive much sooner than many of the other actors in the energy sector think. As a matter of fact, the rising prices of the oil every day help us a lot in this work.
The Spanish are looking beyond their own borders. For instance, Spain is involved in the construction of large solar power plants in Morocco and Algeria. Power plants that concentrate sunshine, better known as concentrated solar power plants, or CSPs for short, are certainly on the increase. Even so, they're not new. In the Mojave Desert in the United States, there are two big CSP plants, where parabolic mirrors are used to produce steam that drives turbines. The plant at Kramer Junction went into operation more than 20 years ago, and experience has shown that this is an extremely efficient concept.
This plant has been in operation since construction between 1986 and 1988. So we've had commercial operation here, self-sustaining in the commercial environment for years. It's all private investment. There were some tax incentives that attracted the investment, but it is privately held, and there's a long-term contract with the utility that makes it a self-sustaining business. This plant is a demonstration that it's reliable, dependable, and absolutely ready for further expansion. You build this kind of solar field, you know what kind of performance and energy you're going to get out of it.
The German company Schott supplies the tubing used to collect sunshine. The company's been involved in solar energy for 5 decades, but recently they've barely been able to keep up with demand.